You lovingly and peacefully detached from your person, and in doing so you initiated a powerful transformation within them. At first, this detachment may have seemed like distance or separation, but in truth, it became an act of love. By stepping back, you created a sacred space that allowed healing to begin taking root. Your absence has acted like a mirror for your person, forcing them to see their patterns, their resistance, and the excuses they have long used to justify staying away. Now, that comfort in avoidance is dissolving, and they can no longer hide behind the walls they built. They are beginning to tire of their own stories, tired of the cycles that kept them from you, and tired of denying what their soul has always known to be true. Panic has started to stir within them, for the realization is setting in that they may truly lose you if they continue to remain stuck in silence. This fear is not the kind that destroys but the kind that awakens, the type of fear that jolts the heart into movement. Sleepless nights haunt them now, and no matter how they try, they cannot escape thoughts of you. Every corner of their mind carries your presence, your energy lingers in their dreams, in their waking moments, and even in the quiet spaces where they thought they could suppress it. The tables have indeed turned. What once may have felt like an endless waiting game has now shifted, and your person is the one consumed by longing, preparing, planning, and envisioning a reunion. Regardless of how things may appear in the physical, three-dimensional world, union is aligning on a higher level. Behind the veil of ordinary circumstances, a divine orchestration is at work. The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups are reclaiming their rightful place, side by side upon the thrones of justice and love. This is not merely a reunion of two individuals but a restoration of balance, an anchoring of truth, and a fulfillment of what was always destined. Your person feels the weight of this calling. They are being summoned to step fully into their role, to honor the bond, and to fulfill the promise of love that cannot be denied. For them, there is no longer a path backward. The old ways, the hesitations, and the fears no longer hold the same power. Just when you thought it was over, when you had surrendered the connection into divine hands, it begins again with greater clarity. This time there is no confusion clouding their vision. Your person knows exactly what they want, and that is you. They have released hesitation and indecision, for the heart has spoken more loudly than the mind. Their focus is singular, unwavering, and determined. At this moment, you are the only thing that fills their thoughts. They look at you now with awe, proud of all that you have become. They watch from a distance, perhaps silently, yet they see how you continue to grow, to rise, and to embody your highest self. Your achievements, your resilience, and your radiance make them proud, and they cannot help but brag to others about how extraordinary you are. In their eyes, you are unmatched, and their admiration for you has only deepened. The love they feel is stronger than ever before, not just a fleeting emotion, but a profound, enduring devotion. There is a fire burning within them, a restless urgency to speak, to reach out, and to finally break the silence. They yearn to communicate with you, to share the changes they have undergone, and to show you the transformations that have taken place in their life. Much of this, you already sensed intuitively, for you always knew the potential of this connection. You spoke or felt predictions about how things would unfold, and now, piece by piece, those insights are becoming reality. Every revelation affirms that your intuition was guiding you correctly all along. This journey is not one of chance but of divine timing. It is a path that asks you to trust deeply, to surrender when necessary, and to follow the quiet wisdom of your inner voice. Though the external world may present illusions of delay, rejection, or distance, the truth is far different. Love is building, alignment is unfolding, and reunion is inevitable. Your role is not to force but to continue trusting yourself, nurturing your own growth, and walking with faith. Your person is stepping into their courage. They are moving through fear, pushing past the old stories that once trapped them, and preparing to meet you with open hands and an open heart. They recognize the significance of this connection now more than ever, and they understand that what you share cannot be replaced or replicated. The love they carry for you is not just emotional but spiritual, a bond that transcends the ordinary and calls for devotion. In time, you will see their actions aligning with the words they have long struggled to speak. This is the transformation you once hoped for, now manifesting before you. Trust that the universe has heard every prayer, honored every tear, and answered every intention you set. You are not walking blindly, you are walking a path of destiny. So continue to trust yourself. Continue to honor your intuition, for it is the compass guiding you through this sacred unfolding. You are being led not just toward reunion with your person, but toward a deeper embodiment of love, wisdom, and truth. Everything that was once hidden is now being revealed, and everything you believed in is coming true. This is not the end of your journey, it is the beautiful beginning of a new chapter where love leads, healing continues, and the union you dreamed of takes form. Here I sit, alone and miserable, with no one to blame but myself. The silence around me feels deafening, pressing against my chest until I can hardly breathe. I dug this hole with my own hands, brick by brick, decision by decision, and now I have to sit in it, fully aware that it was of my own creation. I am surrounded by emptiness, by shadows that stretch longer the more I stare at them. No one around me knows the depths of what I have endured, and no one sees how much I continue to suffer. To them, I look fine, as though I am carrying on with life like everyone else, but beneath the surface, I am unraveling. You are gone, and your absence is like a wound that refuses to heal. The people who are left in my life don't truly appreciate me for who I am. They don't see me, they see only what I can provide. Everyone seems to want something, a piece of me, my money, my wealth, my time, my attention. It's as if I am surrounded by scavengers circling the remains of what once was my life. And yet, I let them. I let them because I am too weak to push them away, too desperate to be wanted in any form, even if it is only for what I can give and not for who I am. Everything around me feels shattered. The foundation I thought I had built my life on has crumbled, leaving me standing in the rubble, trying to make sense of how it all fell apart. For a long time, I convinced myself that the blame belonged to others. I pointed my finger at you, at fate, at karma, at the cruel twists of circumstance. I told myself that the universe had turned against me, that people were unjust, and that you, by leaving, had set this spiral into motion. But as the dust settled and the loneliness deepened, I began to see my mistakes more clearly than ever before. The longer you stayed away, the harder the truth pressed itself against me. And the truth is simple, I was the one at fault. I hurt you. I betrayed what was good in us. I neglected what mattered most. That realization is like a dagger twisting in my chest, because no excuse, no explanation, no justification can undo the pain I caused. You, with all your patience, with all your love, gave me more than I ever deserved, and in return, I failed you. I failed us. You hide your pain well, but I can feel it, even from afar. There is an invisible thread still connecting us, and through it, I sense the hurt I inflicted. I feel it so deeply now that it overwhelms me. Sometimes, I want to collapse onto the floor and cry until there is nothing left inside me. The weight of it makes my lungs feel like they might burst from the pressure. My heart aches with every beat, like it is carrying a punishment it can never escape. There are moments when I want nothing more than to rush forward, to run to you, to beg you to see the change in me. I long to tell you that I am different now, that I have learned, that I am willing to spend whatever time is left in my life making things right. But then I stop myself, because the question echoes in my mind, how could someone who gave so much ever accept someone like me back? How could you, after giving your best, take back someone who only gave you pain? You deserve the best. That truth is undeniable. And I am a broken man. I see now, in a way I never allowed myself to before, the mistakes that led me here. I see the choices I made, the selfish ones, the reckless ones, that dragged me down into dark and painful roads. I thought I was strong, but I was weak. I thought I was in control, but I was spiraling. I thought I was wise, but I was blind. Perhaps this is what they mean when they talk about the law of karma. We reap what we sow. I sowed pain, pride, and carelessness, and now I am reaping the emptiness of regret. Karma doesn't arrive with warning, it creeps in quietly, and by the time it has fully settled, it feels irreversible. Still, there is a strange clarity in all this suffering. Pain, as much as it crushes me, has forced me to look at myself without illusions. It has stripped me bare of excuses and defenses. And in that rawness, I can finally admit what I never wanted to face. I was the architect of my own downfall. Losing you was the cost of my arrogance, and it is a price I will carry for the rest of my life. Some days, I wonder if redemption is possible. Could a man as flawed as me rebuild, change, and grow into someone worthy again? Or is my punishment to sit here in the ruins, reflecting endlessly on what I destroyed? I don't know the answer, but I know that I will never stop asking the question. You will probably never read these words, and perhaps it is better that way. But if you could hear the truth of what I feel now, if you could see how deeply I understand the harm I caused, maybe you would know that even in my brokenness, there is love left, love for you, and love for what we once had. And so, here I remain, in the shadow of my mistakes, wrestling with the weight of karma and the ache of absence. I cannot undo the past, but I can carry its lessons into whatever time remains. And maybe, just maybe, that is the only redemption left for me. Don't think for a moment that your unconditional love has gone unnoticed, because it hasn't. I have seen it in your eyes, in your words, in your actions, and in the way you've remained steadfast even when I gave you reasons to walk away. I recognize how devoted you have been and how consistently you've given me love, even when I wasn't in a place to receive it properly. There were times when I didn't deserve the patience, compassion, and understanding you extended to me, and yet you offered them anyway without hesitation. You stood by me, persisted through the storms, and carried a burning flame in your heart that never dimmed. That kind of love is rare, and the truth is, I am deeply humbled by it. Because of you, I've come to know what it feels like to be worthy of love. Before you, I doubted whether I could ever be fully accepted for who I am, the messy parts, the mistakes, the flaws I tried to hide. Somehow, you managed to reach into places of my soul that I didn't even know existed. You brought to light secrets buried so deeply inside me that even I wasn't aware of them. You showed me things about myself I had been too afraid to face, and in doing so, you revealed the depth of your understanding and your capacity to truly see me. Yet, in the process, we also wove a complicated web between us, one so tangled with emotions, memories, and unspoken truths that I sometimes wonder if it can ever really be undone. There are days when I wish we could rewind time, return to the beginning, and start anew. If I could take everything I know now, the lessons, the clarity, the perspective, and bring it back to the first moment we met, I would do things so differently. I would cherish each moment more, listen more closely, and love more openly. I would give to you in the same way you gave to me, selflessly, wholly, without hesitation. But life does not allow us the gift of rewinding, and as much as it hurts, perhaps this was the way it was always meant to be. Maybe the hardships, the mistakes, and the pain were all part of the path that shaped us, and part of the reason I can appreciate your love so profoundly now. Even so, I need to thank you. Thank you for loving me when I didn't deserve it. Thank you for believing in me when I had stopped believing in myself. Thank you for holding a vision of me that was stronger and kinder than the one I held of myself. As I reflect on everything, I realize that I often chose paths, people, and situations that weren't meant for me. I placed myself in karmic cycles, convincing myself that it was my responsibility to stay, to carry burdens that weren't mine, and to prioritize others' healing over my own. In truth, I think I was avoiding looking inward, avoiding the harder task of facing myself. But now, the weight of it all feels like too much to bear, and I see more clearly how my choices have kept me from showing up for you fully. Even today, guilt lingers inside me. I feel it every time I remember the moments when you needed me most, moments when you longed for my love, compassion, and understanding, and I wasn't able to give them. I wasn't there in the way you deserved. I was distracted, conflicted, or too caught up in the heaviness of my own struggles to reach out and meet you where you stood waiting. That truth hurts me, and it's something I carry with me every day. And yet, despite all my shortcomings, despite all the times I faltered, you still brought light into my life. You gave me love when I was most lost, when I was drifting in isolation, and when I had convinced myself that no one could ever truly see or accept me. You came into my world when I was drowning in silence, and your presence reminded me that I wasn't as alone as I believed. Your love has been both a mirror and a lifeline. It reflected back to me parts of myself I had denied, forcing me to confront them, and at the same time, it tethered me to something real when I was tempted to let go completely. You have no idea how much that has meant to me, how profoundly you changed the course of my life simply by being who you are. Even when I look back with regret, even when I ache for what might have been, I know without a doubt that our paths crossed for a reason. There was something the universe wanted me to learn through you, something I could not have discovered otherwise. I don't know what the future holds for us, or if we will ever untangle this complicated web we've created, but what I do know is that I will never forget you, nor will I ever forget the love you gave me. It wasn't just love, it was grace, forgiveness, and acceptance in their purest forms. And though I can't change the past, I can hold on to the gratitude I feel for you now. That gratitude is my reminder of what real love looks like, and it is my hope that someday, somehow, I can honor it in the way it deserves. So, once again, thank you. Thank you for being the light in my darkest nights, the fire that never went out, and the reminder that love, when it is true and unconditional, can endure even the weight of time, mistakes, and regret.